Peace, love, and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Get This Wisdom Live. I am your host, Shakti Sterner. I am also the editor in chief of Get This Wisdom magazine. Now, before I go any further, I provide a disclaimer with all of our episodes. And as some of you know, I am a stay at home mother of two. So you may hear my children in the background. I also am a homeschooling mom too. So when I do these episodes, my children are right with me, picking up some of the information and playing in the background as you hear one of my children right now. So, if I have to go, tend to the children, I will go on a brief intermission and, return as soon as possible. So, let's get it. Tonight's episode is about the veneration of our ancestor, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whom, this society deems today as the day that we honor and celebrate him. Let me say this. I don't necessarily agree with any man made institution telling us when and where we can celebrate and honor those who have came before us. So let that just be known and very clear, just like with Black History Month. But I'm that's a whole nother discussion. I'm not going to get into that right now. So today is what is called Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I want to give all praise, due, and honor to the sacrifice that he gave for us. Now, there are some people who have abstract views on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Some may say he wasn't radical enough, some may say he was too docile. So it's so many things that people have to say about him. Um, and I'm not going to go into that direction. What I will say is, um, I can remember when I first started my journey of consciousness and enlightenment. I was one of those people who went very hard, if you will, against religion and has so many verbal attacks against religion and religious people. But as I have grown in my journey, we must state the facts. A lot of our martyrs and ancestors were religious people. We look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and him, being a self-proclaimed Christian. We look at the Honorable Marcus Garvey. We look at Dr. Khalid Muhammad, whose birthday was yesterday. We look at Malcolm X. We look at so many people of in the Black liberation movement in whatever capacity they served in, and a lot of them were religious people. We come from a spiritually inclined and a spiritually in tuned people. When we look back all the way into what is known commonly as Africa, there are so many African traditional religious systems and spiritual systems, so many of them, right? So I'm not the one that's gonna go, well, he was a Christian, blah blah blah. I'm not that queen. You got the wrong queen. I rather look at a man or woman for their character and their works, and we 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 definitely know certain things that have happened in this society have not been for the best interest of those of African descent. When we look back, into the times where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was heavily taking a stance, if you will, when the bombing happened and Selma, and even when Rosa Parks refused to get up. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. he took his stand in the way that he felt was best for him and his people at the time. So when we look into who he was as an individual from what we know, because I was born in 87. I wasn't alive during that time. Um, I can only go off of what I've studied, what I've learned, and you know, he did what he felt was necessary at the time. Now, when a lot of people think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., they automatically go to his "I Have a Dream" speech, right? And that was a very profound moment in Washington. However, for what stands out to me about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the quote that a lot of us have heard, and we study now, and from what I know to be what he said was, "I fear that I have integrated my people into a burning house." Now I'm paraphrasing, of course. Now, what upsets me about that is this: for that man to take a stand in the manner of which he did, and in thinking that, if we all just come together, if we all could just get along, um things would be better for us. It's sad that he had to come to the realization that that wasn't the case. So that's why I call it a dream deferred. um we are in a society that exists off of cannibalism, uh, pillaging, murder, and all these egregious things that have taken place in this society due to the colonizer, um, the white boy, whatever you want to call a Tamahu, whatever you want to call them. We know who reigns in so-called power, who has the illusion of so-called power, who we give the power to ultimately. Um, my heart goes out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his family, and those who were impacted by his presence, and furthermore his absence, because what did he really die for? You know, of course he had his own values and principles that he stood for, and that he confessed, and that he also lived by. He was an example of such. So this is nothing against the character of him. I would never disrespect those who have sacrificed their life for me and my children. If we can give praise and honor, and I'll say we in a generalization, if we can give praise and honor to some white boy on the cross, we could for damn sure give praise and honor to those we know without a shadow of a doubt died for us. it, but what did he die for? When we look outside of our windows right now, I'm in the city of Detroit. I'm not in the suburbs. I'm not in the country. I'm directly in the heart of the city. I hear gunshots every night. My babies hear gunshots every night. We hear sirens every day. We see the police riding up and down the block. So I look out my window and I see, beautiful Black men and Black women and Black children still suffering. I look out my window and I see the yellow caution tape from another Black man, a Black woman who has lost their life due to senseless violence. And I'm not the one that's going to go all into the Black on Black crime type of rhetoric or rhetoric, because the fact of the matter is there's a root cause for all of those things, and we are acting outside of our own selves when we portray phone call. People always interrupt the live, but it's cool. um there's a root cause for all of the behaviors that we exhibit. These are European behaviors. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and one of his more profound things to me personally, and in the book Message to the Black Man, and I'm going to paraphrase this also because it's been so long I may not have it word for word, but he said, when a person lacks the knowledge of themselves and who they truly are, their origins, and how they come from a civilized people. When they don't have the knowledge of that, they can't really be held accountable for their actions to a certain degree. So when we look at these beautiful black men going to war with each other over scraps because they lack the proper or the fair equal opportunities to advance, to provide for their families. When we look at these beautiful black sisters out here standing on the corner prostituting because they got babies at home, or what did he die for? What did he die for? When there's a little 7-year-old girl by the name of Ayanna Jones, a little 7-year-old black baby. I got an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old right here with me. When there's a 7-year-old black girl sleeping on her couch in her grandmother's house being gunned down by white police officers, and that white police officer get out on a mistrial, what did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. die for? So all you conscious folk, I love y'all. I love y'all. But y'all, sometimes you just need to sit back and chill for a minute, and be conscious enough to know when and when not to speak, how deep to go and how deep not to go. Because we can sit up here and I could shoot the breeze. I could shoot the ones and twos with y'all all day about whatever you want to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. about, whatever you want to talk about Tupac about, whatever you want to talk about Malcolm X about, whatever you want to talk about whomever about. But at the end of the day, what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave the black race was a, a sign of representation of when to stand, when to stay, when to take a solid stance for your people. Arguing all day about who know what and who don't know what about this, that, and the third on Facebook is not taking a stand. If anything, y'all are more jokes of the community, because we are supposed to be the ones that know better. We supposed to be the ones that got knowledge of self. We supposed to be the ones that just see through the illusions of what they are trying to present to our beautiful black children. And we steady arguing all day. What did he die for? What did all of them die for? What did his wife, Coretta, have to look at her husband in a casket for? What did his children have to see their daddy lying in the casket for? For us to sit up here and still argue on Facebook all day when our babies are being slaughtered, when our babies are being fed up to the oppressor on a platter? It don't matter if you felt like he wasn't radical enough. It don't matter if you felt this, that, and the third about that man. The fact of the matter is that black man and black men like him and black women like him and black children like him are still being murdered to this very day, to this very hour, to this very minute, and to this very second. So when we take today, yeah, the oppressor gave us this day. That, like I said, that's another conversation. We gonna put that on the back burner. When we have days like today, when black people who normally aren't proud of who they are, and I'm emotional about that. I'm emotional about that because we beautiful, we powerful. We should be proud of who we are, who we come from, and all of our ancestors 365. But since the colonizer has mentally corrupted us so bad that we barely know who we are and where we come from. When we have days like today when black babies are proud, when we have days like today when black men and black women are proud, God damn it, conscious folks, shut your mouth and let them people be proud. Let them be proud. What else are you offering them to be proud for? You too busy twiddling your thumbs on Facebook all day. You too busy trying to see who more king than who more queen than who. When these black babies are left for open for attack, like them 4 little girls down there in Selma. My daughter been watching Selma, and she come to me, Mommy, why? Why was them babies killed? And I gotta look at my daughter in the face, and I gotta tell her, baby, it wasn't their fault. Just because of the color of their skin, they were beautiful black little girls like you. I gotta look my daughter in the face and tell her that in this society she is hated because of the color of her skin. Nothing more, nothing less. And there's my other beautiful baby who I gotta look in the face and know one day that she may be gunned down because she's a black autistic child. And you know they killing black autistic people left and right. So on the today, like today, when that man he said, I had a dream. I have a dream too. And my dream is for one day that we will truly get it. So our babies can stop being murdered. It don't matter how much high science you know. When a baby is being gunned down like an animal. When a Tamir racist is being gunned down just for playing in the park. When the Trayvon Martins are being gunned down just for going to the store getting a pack of Skittles. It don't matter how much you know if you're not out there saving them kids. That's what that man did. That's what he stood for. He may not have been able to save them little girls in Selma, but he sure did speak up for them babies. Black man and black woman, I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much that it hurts that we can't even have a day like today where a man died. He was assassinated because he finally took a stand for what he believed in. He finally did that. But he also acknowledged that he integrated his people into a burning house. Well, baby, black man, beautiful Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you couldn't stop that burning house. It was bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us. The devil wants us gone. And one man can't stop that. But what one man can do is plant the seed of thought to create change. So, as I said in my disclaimer, you may hear my children because they with me. They getting this wisdom firsthand. But I want you all to think upon this tonight. If you have children or not, look at your beautiful baby while they're sleeping. And I think about if that same beautiful baby was gunned down. One moment, please. Okay, I'm doing this video. You doing what? I'm doing a video for Martin Luther King Jr. Yes, I'm back. Like I said, it's a family friendly environment. My whole family is with me. They they know what time it is. And part of my language, I get a little bit passionate when I speak upon the certain injustices that our people face, have been facing, and will face in the future if we don't do something to stop what's going on. We're in a burning house, and when two people are arguing, you can't tell who the bigger fool is. The devil's laughing at all of us. The devil sitting back with his feet kicked up with a cigar, laughing. Look at these silly Negroes. They sitting up here on the social media I made for them. Yeah, they. I'm more God than you. No, I'm more God than you. I'm gonna beat on my chest like a big old baboon, like they call us monkeys and shit. Meanwhile, them babies dying. We got a 10-year-old little black boy about to serve life, being charged as an adult because he shot his mother. Who was speaking upon that? Who was looking at the psychology of what made that little black boy do that? Huh? Who was looking at the environment that that child was in to make him feel like it was okay to shoot and kill his own mother? We got a 15-year-old little boy up here in Michigan about to be charged as an adult because he shot another 15-year-old black boy. Our babies are killing each other. And we too busy arguing with each other to give them guidance. We too busy arguing with each other to step in where they parents fall short, because that's what being your brothers and sisters keep them mean. When your brother is too weak to perform his duty, when your sister is too weak to perform her duty, you supposed to step up to the plate and make sure that black baby got somebody. We failing, but we talking about uh the black man. Here's the black woman. The black man ain't shit. He did all this. The black woman, the black man. You too masculine, black woman. You too. What is all this for? What did they die for? And I'm holding the charge to those who claim to have knowledge of self accountable. I'm not even talking about our sisters and brothers out there lost and sleep. I'm talking about the ones that say they ain't got the veil over their eyes no more, that they see it clear and they understand the agendas against our people. Y'all are the biggest failures. We are the biggest failures because we have a duty to perform, and it ain't sitting on Facebook all day. So when I think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it makes me think of the work that we have to do, the part of his dream that we still have a duty to carry out. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. Where he passed the torch, we supposed to be running with that thing so these babies can get to the promised land. It ain't about me. It ain't about you no more. It's about these babies. And we failing. We failing miserably. So I'm going to really need you to go take a look at yourself. I'm going to look at myself again. I always do. And say, what can I do better? How can I be better? How can I be a better example for those coming up under me, for those that's watching my every step? Because I know my daughters watch mine. I can't even go to the bathroom without one of them behind me. And I love it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that mine are with me, because so many of them ain't here. And they dying too young before they even get a chance to live. These babies not even making it out of elementary school. They're getting charged as adults in this new neo-slavery system in the prison. They got a 10-year-old boy being charged as an adult. Y'all don't see the problem with that. He ain't even went through puberty yet. And he got to stand before the judge on a murder charge. Murder one, life. We got some work to do, people. And it ain't bickering and debating back and forth over frivolous things. It don't matter who you pray to at the end of the day. You're supposed to have some sense of human decency to know that when babies are being murdered, just like them four little girls back in cell, that we got a real life problem on our hands. We got the solutions though if we stop being distracted, which is what the devil wants. He wants the leaders to be distracted. Ain't no more leaders coming. If you're looking for another Malcolm X, that ain't happening. If you're looking for another Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that ain't happening. You looking for another Allah, the Father, any Noble Drew Ali, any of them? It ain't happening. It's done. We the leaders now. We the ancestors return, and we got a duty to handle. So I'm still very emotional right now. If you and let me acknowledge those in the comment section. And my apologies. Uh, I could barely look at these comments. I got so many tears in my eyes. Peace to the queen, my joy. I'm acknowledge the youth first. Thank you for tuning in, baby girl. I appreciate you so much more than you know, and I thank you for providing the inspiration for this very platform. You rock, queen, and I know that you're gonna go far, and I'll support you in any way that I can. Um, Peace to Mama Cherie, Reed's Learning Street, and everything that you do for the babies is you definitely worked with one of my daughters. You mean everything to me. Peace to the brother Divine L. We got a chance to speak earlier today, and thank you so much for the acknowledgement and support. Um, yeah, so the government gave us today. All right, that's cool. What are we gonna do with the energy of today, though? You know, don't let it just be today. Don't let it be today. Celebrate every day. Celebrate your beautiful blackness every day. Celebrate the ancestors that died for us every day. There are so many that don't even have a name, that died in the seas, that died on the ships, that died on the fields. We should be honoring them every day with everything that we do, not just today. Woo! Good God. I am super emotional, yo. I wasn't expecting to get emotional like this. But yeah, so we know what today is. We know what it's about. And however you view Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that's your personal choice. I'm not telling you you're right or wrong for that. What I'm telling you is look at the bigger picture. Look at, what the story of his death represented for our people. Look at what the history of his that was painted to us anyway represents for our community. Um, and let that be a motivational tool for you to take a stand in your life. Don't have to necessarily go run into the street being a martyr. Martyrism is quite frankly dead. We shouldn't have to go to our deaths anymore. Our ancestors left us with the blueprint and the tools to do better. So look at your personal life. Where do you need to take a stand to be a better individual? Do you need to honor your word more? Do you need to be more committed to your family? Do you need to be more committed to your health? What is it that you personally need to take a stand for to make you a better individual and a better example for the youth that's coming up? Because they coming and we failing them. We got a job to do. So with that, I'm gonna let it be. And mindful. Let's see, Brother Divine and mindful. And now see, shout out to North Carolina, yo, and North Crackalacky. Oh man, well, who is that brother? Is that Petey Pablo? Was he from North Carolina? Was that North Carolina? Come on and say something. Shout out to North Carolina, yo. I got a lot of people in that area that the love is for real. The Africans down there doing the damn thing. Shout out to North Carolina. Um, Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna end it with that. You know, it was a pretty brief episode tonight. I got my babies, got to get ready to get them off to bed. Got to get ready for tomorrow morning's episode. Yo, yo, first off, let me shout out brother Sincere Teach from last night. Man, that was a powerful, powerful bill, yo. I'm still flying high off of that one. But tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Dr. Oya Mayat, man, this interview has been over 5 years in the making, right? Uh, Me and the Queen have been talking for the past 5 years or so about this interview. So we finally got it set in stone. It's tomorrow morning. I'm excited to get this wisdom with that Queen. I hope you are able to tune in. If not, tune in later on. That's the beautiful thing about these videos. They not going nowhere. So tune in later on, get your notebooks, get your pens, and get ready to take some notes. Get ready to get some more information to provoke transformation and all that beautiful stuff. I love you so much. I love your black behind more than you love yourself. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace, love, and black power.